sorry about my hole. Welcome back to my channel. It's been month of May was pretty interesting. Taught me a lot about what to do on YouTube, what not to do. Also taught me a little bit about what actually kind of works with my channel right now and what doesn't. Back to my Mustang though, Mustang. You know, because it's a Mustang with an LS in it. Whatever, it makes sense to me. I am working on my merge pipe and crossover pipe and header, manifold, everything. I had a friend come over last weekend, Colin from Old Crow Fabrication, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So I had him come over and give me a hand doing some welding, doing some fitment, and we came up with this. I'll show you this in a second. I'll also post some pictures right now. So anyway, so we got this done, and that took longer than I expected it to, but of course it's fab work. Why wouldn't it take time? Everything is custom. So anyway, so he left and I started working on the rest of it. I've got a 3/8 stainless steel flange for this manifold, so I didn't have to cut this side. I figured the less cutting to do on the cast, the better. Anyway, so I've now got this stuff ready to go. We're back there, cut my own pie cuts for here to connect these together, which 3 of the 4 that I cut will fit here and will work nicely, and then my wastegate can go up here. So I'm getting there. It's been a long process. It's been a long journey. So let me grab my camera here. So this is now my merge pipe. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So yeah, so this is now the merge collector. So this here is what I had my buddy Dan weld up for me, and I fabricated, or I made this piece fit, and he made it fit. And then we put this stainless steel bellow in. It's small, crush. And then we did this. So this has some potential ability to move. And then into the Y. So now this is 2.5, this is 3-inch. Then I'm gonna cut this, and I may end up cutting this off here and putting a straight piece in. I'm gonna wait till he comes before I start cutting that up, or I might just do it, and I don't know, I've still got time. And then this guy comes down, turns around, and then comes this way. And this is on the same plane, even though it doesn't really look like it. And what's going to happen is this guy is going to go in here, and then I'm going to make an extension piece in the middle there for the V-band. So this way, I mean, I may put it back to put it in the center just to be symmetrical. I don't know. One of those things to do. And then this is just kind of sitting here and marked up right now, but 45, which is tucked into the flange, so that when we weld around it, we can also weld on the inside to make it stronger. And then this comes around and is perfect. Clears everything, clears literally everything. People were commenting that my AC lines are going to be cooked. And I have, yes, it's probably going to get warm, but I have a bracket, or not a bracket, a piece that the AC lines can connect into that will bring it down to here. So that's going to be out of the way. And then if I put 90s on them to go whichever way I need to go, once I get around to that, I don't think it's going to be interfering with anything anymore. So yeah, this is where I'm at, and hopefully this coming weekend. So today is Monday. So hopefully on Saturday he's going to come by, and we're going to weld this all together and back purge everything and get it all finished up. It is 3 pieces, so that if I have to take the turbo off, I can take the turbo off. I can disconnect the Y if I need to as well, to maybe make it easier to get the turbo off. Many different things to do here. Yeah, and if I have to take off the manifold on the one side, I can undo the V-band, the manifold comes off. Do it on this side, undo this V-band, undo the flange, and then that manifold comes off. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully I haven't screwed anything up too majorly. I do think that this is better than the way it was before. The old one, there was so much heat. There was so much, I don't even know how much to describe how much I despised it. And I shouldn't be wearing this because, this is where it came from. But this is obviously my work sweater because I don't care about it anymore. So with that being said, I have my True North Turbos turbo. I have my BSI Black Sheep Industries, which is the same company. I have their wastegate, a 60 mil wastegate, and a 50 mil blow-off valve. I'm going to have to buy some intercooler piping and redo some piping on that. Again, little things. 4-inch oval downpipe, that's going to get done as soon as the turbo's all mounted, manifold's all done, everything is completely solid again, so that it's not going to be in the way, and I can mount it back into the car and I can work on it from that point of view. I don't think it's going to take me long to do that. It's just a bunch of pie cuts. It's pretty straightforward because it's oval. I really can't do much in the way of altering its direction. So like I said, I'm hoping it'll go pretty straightforward and pretty quickly. So with that being said, I am done for the night. I've been working on this for a couple hours. I'm happy with where I'm at right now, and yeah, I'll probably, pick up this video on Saturday with Colin here doing some welding. I'm going to try to remember to actually video some stuff because, why would I remember to video anything? Because that would make sense. Again, things I'm learning, things I'm doing wrong, things I'm trying to do right. So anyway, I'll pick this up in a couple of days. It's an auto darkening lens.
Oh yeah.
It actually does work.
It's kind of cool.
Just trying not to get in your way.
Yeah.
You could see that.
No, it wasn't in there, really.
I was trying to be not in your way. Of course, you know, like that would have been the best spot to film, and I got it right at the very end. Make a little touch.
Yeah. Either that or there was something dirty there. Let's see if dirty.
Oh, you even clean this, did you?
No, I did not.
No, it's upside down. Not that it matters, but. think I was touching your. I was touching your rod. All right, so I'm back. We got the turbo all installed. I've videoed some of the process. Some I'll post a bunch of pictures and everything else while I'm talking. So now everything is installed. Everything is fitted up. Now it's time to work on my downpipe, which is going to be 4-inch oval. Doing this to save space in the engine bay. I don't know. I think I've said it before. I think I've talked about it before. I just don't remember now. I mean, I've done so much stuff. So yeah. So anyway, so now to work on that, and to do the intercooler, and to do the turbo oil drain. That's the 3 big things left under the hood, and then I can get back to work on electrical, or I can start working on electrical. I did start it, but I mean, I can start getting it done. I don't think the new transmission is going in for the event in May, which I haven't really talked about too much, if at all. I don't remember. So because I've got just over 2 months right now to get the exhaust done, to get the wiring done, to get the intercooler piping done, to get, you know, this thing running and driving. Plus I want to make a few test hits before I drive it all that way and get it all done. You know, I don't think the transmission is going to go in right now. It will be in for the August event, the Sick Michigan Miles, because between May and August, obviously, I mean, that's 3 months. I should have time to get it in, get the trans brake all figured out, get everything else running and driving. But with this new turbo setup, I need to get that figured out and get that all configured and stuff. So with that being said, there is the turbo. It is mounted. It's really hard to see, just, you know, obviously with all this stuff in here, but the crossover pipe is in there. It is mounted to the other manifold. The manifolds are in on both sides. Everything is connected. The turbo is clocked in the way that it's going to be, so it is going to go straight down and then come across and out, and then into the intercooler, which sits right here, and then back through here, and then up, and then back and in. I'm going to do all pie cuts. I'm going to get this all pretty much into 2 pieces, maybe 3, depends on how it all fits up. It's probably going to end up being 3 pieces. So this way, you know, it can be removed easier. But without using mandrel bends, because I really wanted to get it to fit the way I want rather than having to work on or off of mandrel bends, and it's going to have to be all cut apart anyway. So this way I have a little bit more quality control, hopefully. But it's got to go 3 inches out of the turbo, into the intercooler, out of the intercooler, and then transition to 4 inches into the into the throttle body. And back to turbo stuff. I am 4 inches out of the back half of the turbo, So this is pretty much how it's going to transition out of the turbo. So turbo out, and then I've got to extend the angle about 1 inch, because as it sits right now, it is really close to the shock tower. So I'd rather give myself a little bit of extra clearance than have everything hit or potentially flex a little bit and rub. So I've got a 4-inch piece of stainless here that I'm going to use to space out that adapter. Then I've got a bunch of pie cuts that I started playing with, and those obviously are going to be my downpipe, the 4-inch oval, and then I've got a 5-foot piece, straight piece. So yeah, it's coming together. Sorry, I guess the last thing I just remembered is my wastegate. 60 mil wastegate from Black Sheep Industries. This has got to get mounted. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I know it's unpopular opinion for a lot of people, but it is going to get mounted here and then recirc back into the downpipe. Just because it's going to be a little bit quieter. It's a street car. It's my car, so why not? And I am going to, I don't know where I put it now. Oh, do a 3-inch electric cutout off of the downpipe. So it's going to come off here. It's pretty much going to come out of 45 off of here and then go to that 3-inch. You'll see better once I actually get to doing this part. But in the meantime, welding is all done. We ended up back purging the whole manifold crossover pipe for the turbos, or turbo. So we used my entire bottle of gas, and we were 2 welds short on that flex coupler before running out of gas. So luckily he brought my welder buddy Colin, he brought his welding tank with him, so we were able to finish up the welds with his tank and call it a day. Again, I can't thank him enough. Hopefully next weekend, if not next weekend, the weekend after. Today is Sunday. We are 15th of April, or March, I think. Yeah. So this coming weekend, I'm hoping to have the downpipe fitted. I'm hoping to have the intercooler stuff set up so that he can come back on Saturday and weld all that stuff up, and I can get to work on the electrical and maybe have the car back on the road for April. First week, second week of April. I know that's a lot of pushing, but I need to get this car back running and driving. I need to get back in it. I miss it. It's been a long winter. I should have started this a lot earlier than I did. So, but that being said, hopefully I can piece this video together pretty decently. It's probably going to be a long one. I may break it into 2 pieces, but I'm going to try to speed through a bunch of things and get it out. And then the next videos that you'll see is me working on the downpipe and the intercooler piping. So until then, thanks for watching. Sorry it was a long one, and I appreciate everything. I appreciate comments, likes, subscribes, all that stuff. And if you've noticed, I've changed my channel name yet again. I am working on I'm getting my other friend to help me do the new logo. I have a good temporary idea. It's going to change a little bit from what it is, but it is getting worked on, and I'm going to get some shirts made. If not just for me to work here in the garage wearing them, but hopefully, you know, maybe somebody wants to buy them from me, help me support my channel, help me support the car, help me support everything I'm doing. But Staples Garage, that's who I am. That makes more sense to me. The car is the Mustang with an LS. Looks like hell. So much junk on it. Can't wait to get it down off of Jack's. So, like I said, until then, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, you know, that there's some dumbass on the internet working on his LS and the Mustang. And yeah, thanks.